On this episode of Cape Media News, a firefighter laid to rest, shark sightings on the rise, West Nile virus lands on Cape Cod, and the community gathers for Unity Day. These stories and more. This is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Colvin. The community gathered this morning to pay respects to Hyannis Fire Lieutenant Richard Knowlton, who died August 4th after a long and courageous battle with occupational cancer. Knowlton graduated from Dennis-Yarmouth Regional High School in 1977 and served in the United States Air Force for 3.5 years. He began his firefighting career in the early 80s as a call firefighter and EMT for the Yarmouth Fire Department. He was hired full-time by the Hyannis Fire Department in 1982. Knowlton was promoted to lieutenant in 1993. He served the citizens of Hyannis for more than 32 years before his retirement in 2015. Firefighters, police officers, and paramedics from across Cape Cod attended the funeral services this morning, held at Our Lady of Victory in Centerville. Thank you, Lieutenant Knowlton, for your service to our community. Up next, we'll tell you why you need to watch out for mosquito bites.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth.
He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching.
This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Watch out for those mosquitoes. West Nile virus was detected this week in mosquito samples taken from 5 Cape towns, including Barnstable, Dennis, and Yarmouth. I caught up with Gabrielle Sokolsky of the Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project to learn more. The Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project spends the summer trapping and testing mosquitoes, keeping an eye out for bug-borne diseases. This week, West Nile virus was detected in 15 samples taken from 5 Cape towns.
The levels of West Nile virus in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts are high right now. This is the first week we've picked up West Nile virus in mosquitoes. Actually, I collected a few samples last week as well that picked up mosquitoes with West Nile virus. This week we had 14 samples come back positive. Doesn't sound like a lot, but the last time, that's more than I usually get in a whole season, that many samples of positive. So that's a lot in 1 week. I've never had anything like that in 1 week. And in a variety of different towns. We had 5 different towns that came back with positive mosquitoes.
It's pretty simple to keep mosquitoes from breeding in your backyard.
The species that are potentially carrying West Nile virus are usually out at dark. So you've passed dusk and now dark, but any time after it starts to get darker, after the sun starts to go down, that's when you start to see these freshwater mosquito species biting. So that's the time you have to be concerned. Go outside, go around your yard and empty out any containers holding water, tarps, planters, anything like that, buckets. A lot of times when people have mosquitoes at dusk, those mosquitoes are coming from their yard. They don't travel very far at all.
We got a look at how these pesky bugs are trapped for testing.
So this is a gravid trap. This is the type of trap that we use to collect the mosquitoes that we're sending in to get tested for West Nile virus. Those mosquitoes, the Culex species, they lay their eggs in man-made containers. So all we're doing is mimicking a man-made container. So I've got a Rubbermaid container, and this is the trap part that goes up on top. We put stinky water in the bottom, to mimic a man-made container with stinky water in it. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in organic water because their larvae are filter feeders. So when they lay their eggs, they're looking for nice organic water. So with this trap, What we're looking for are the species that actually lay their eggs in man-made containers. And so we put a container into the box. You turn on the fan. There's a fan right here. So what happens with this trap is the mosquitoes go in to lay their eggs. That's why it's a gravid trap. They're full of eggs. And they fly under here, and then they get sucked up into this container in there. These traps are great because they'll pick up the mosquitoes at the point in their life when they're most likely to have the virus. They've already taken a blood meal, and now they've got eggs in them. So they've already bitten something, and they may have picked up the disease in that something.
In addition to trapping and testing, crews are also treating catch basins.
My crews are also going around treating the catch basins. Road drains are the perfect places for mosquitoes to develop. They're meant to hold standing water. They're out of the sun, out of the wind. The mosquitoes go in there, they lay their eggs, and they develop in there. So my crews go around, we treat about 15,000 drains a year. You'll see my crews out there. They may be putting packets into those drains of bacteria that is targeted at just mosquitoes, or they may be spraying the bacteria into those catch basins.
And the best thing to do is simply to avoid mosquito bites.
It's never good to be bitten by a mosquito. Keep in mind they might be carrying a disease. They're more than a nuisance.
Gabrielle Sokolsky is an entomologist with the Cape Cod Mosquito Control Project. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. And if you must be out with the bugs, Sokolsky recommends using a repellent that has an EPA registration number on it. Visit ccmcp.net for all you ever wanted to know about mosquitoes. Well, from the small pests to the big beasts, great white sharks are being spotted on Cape shores, and one scientist got a little closer than he bargained for. Gabrielle Rawson has the story.
I think I see him there.
She's cutting ready to crash the bow now. 1 o'clock, 2 boats coming at you. Come to port now. Slow way down. You gotta come right under your bow. Right off the... So ready to Greg there now in that buck.
A white shark made a surprise breach when it lunged at shark expert Dr. Greg Scommel during what was supposed to be a routine shark tagging off Wellfleet.
Well, we've been routinely going out, as we have the last several years, to go and seek out white sharks for identification and tagging as part of our broader scale research. And so it's not atypical for us to go up to numerous white sharks every day around the water, particularly this time of year, July, August. So this was like no other approach that we've ever done. Weighing up in the air puts us on top of a shark, and then what I do is I use a GoPro on a pole to get identification information, male, female, and the individual markings, and then I try to get a tag of it. So we were approaching this particular shark, and the shark was going into really murky water, so we couldn't really see the shark. And so I'm looking down, waiting for it to appear so I can videotape it. And suddenly it appears by leaping straight up toward the pulpit, toward my feet. And I look down and I just look really straight into the mouth of a gaping white shark with its teeth baring and its mouth wide open.
It came
right up and opened his mouth right at my feet.
Admittedly, it's I was startled, and you could see me do a little bit of a dance up on the pulpit. I'm thinking that this thing, if it keeps coming, is going to crash into the pulpit. But it fell back down into the water, and I tried to grab some video footage of it, so to determine whether or not we know that shark and what sex it might be and its size and such. But it all happened in a split second. So we don't know whether it was just reacting to the presence of the boat or reacting to us as a potential prey item. We don't know. It's unique behavior that we don't typically see.
Scommel has tagged 8 great white sharks and will continue his research through October. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
Wow!
And we, of course, will keep you up to date on shark sightings here on Cape Media News, but you can download the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy's Sharktivity app and visit them online at atlanticwhiteshark.org. Up next, got leftover paint? What to do with it?
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Cape Towns are collaborating on an effort to keep latex paint out of the landfill. More than 4 tons of paint was collected during an event held in Dennis last weekend. Let's find out where it'll go. Leftover paint. Most of us have it in our garages, basements, or cluttering up corners in our homes. But what's next when we don't need it anymore? You do have an option to drop off paint at local transfer stations to be stored in paint sheds. But towns have to pay to have it taken away, or worse, it goes into the landfill.
Normally what we would do is we take paint every first Saturday of the month, and then we would end up taking it and pouring it off into 55-gallon drums and paying to dispose of it.
A local initiative to recycle and reuse that old latex paint is now underway. Thanks to a grant from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection, the Cape Cod Latex Collection and Recycling Paint Initiative is in the first of a 2-year pilot program.
We developed this program with the cooperation of all 15 towns on the Cape. The town of Bourne and the town of Dennis have agreed to be regional depots to collect the paint from the paint sheds you may have in your town where you live. That paint's collected in large boxes and brought to Bourne or Dennis and put on a big trailer that goes for recycling up in Hanover. People have lots of good quality latex paint, and it would be a shame to throw it away. It's not hazardous material, and we want to reuse it because buying new paint requires a lot of energy, and we want to close that recycling loop with other items in your household besides plastic bottles and cans.
The town of Bourne spearheaded the grant initiative on behalf of all 15 Cape Towns. A collection event was held recently in Dennis.
And today in Dennis, it happens to be co-located with the Household Hazardous Waste Collection event, but we're holding our second Take Back event, and it's gone very well. So far, we think we're going to break the record and have more than 4 tons of paint. And the system here at the collections it's very much marked off. We'll have a greeter and people directing you into coned off areas and channels, and then we'll come and grab the paint right out of your car. No need to get out of your car. You'll be in and out in a few minutes, very efficiently done, and then you're on your way. That's it. It's really no paperwork to file. It's just simply that I have some latex, we come and get it, and then we take it from there.
Through the recycling program, a company called Recolor takes the paint and gives it new life.
We are Massachusetts' only latex paint recycling company. We collect and process latex paint. Any leftover paint that's liquid, we take at our shop, and we create a palette of 16 colors, 16 chalk finish colors, and 3 exterior colors. When we get the paint back to our shop, we sort it by color, we mix it in large 300-gallon batches, and then we have a process whereby we filter it and then package it in new, clean packaging. Recyclable packaging, but new packaging nonetheless.
It's estimated that there are over 750 million gallons of leftover paint in the United States.
As you can see, there is an absolute ton of latex paint left over. This is just one day, one morning, one Saturday morning here in Dennis, and we're probably going to collect close to or over 2,000 gallons of leftover liquid paint that can be recycled. That's a heck of a lot of paint that if we weren't doing what we're doing would end up in the landfill.
The Cape Cod Latex Collection and Recycling Paint Initiative pilot program runs through 2019.
If you have latex and you miss the collections, or you don't have a paint shed in your town, hang on to it to next summer and we'll be able to deal with it then, and hopefully you'll be part of the program next year. So spread the word on Cape Cod. It's open to all Cape Cod residences. Bring your paint from any town to these events, and we're going to see if we can recycle thousands of gallons of paint.
You can find a list of drop-off locations and collection events online. Visit townofbourne.com/paint. Up next, a community gathering in the village of Hyannis.
They gave me Vicodin after my knee surgery. They kept prescribing it, so I kept taking it. I didn't know it would be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Well, you can't spell community without unity, and both were on full display last Friday in Hyannis. Gabrielle Rawson reports on Barnstable's third Unity Day.
People of Action and Barnstable Police joined forces to put on the year's most anticipated day of fun, food, and fellowship. Unity Day brought the community together to renew the town's commitment to maintaining safe neighborhoods and to encourage positive relationships.
It's a very family-friendly atmosphere. You know, a lot of the local fire departments and law enforcement, a lot of those people are here to kind of just familiarize themselves with people. So when you see them out in the community, you say, oh, that's the guy I saw at the Unity Day. So it builds those connections. And because there's so much negativity going on, when you look at you think about the police departments and how they're depicted in different areas, it just kind of allows people to see them in a different light.
As tensions grew nationwide between police and the community, local leaders founded Unity Day to help foster trust and mutual appreciation.
And a bunch of us we would always be talking, whether it be on the phone or when we're hanging out, about all the negative things that are going on in the community and stuff like that, or just not in just our community, just communities around the globe or around the country. And we decided instead of doing or talking about it or constantly just living in it, we decided to do something to bring positivity to our community.
It's a great cause. I've been here twice, my second year coming. It's just nice to see the public and the police get together and anything that's positive.
I am impressed with what Barnstable is doing. I think this is wonderful.
It's also a good lesson for the kids to understand that police are the friends. It's good to have a great relationship with the police officers as well.
There's been a lot of racism with cops and things like that, so people are coming together here and becoming more friends about it, or it's getting better.
Barnstable Police welcome the opportunity to connect with citizens.
I think it's great to get especially kids out here to realize that we're the good guys and we're here to help them, and when you need help, come find us. Don't be afraid of us.
We get to interact with the citizens of the community. The kids get to see us. We get to give them badges. Everybody gets free food, and it's not in a situation where we're going to a call or we're going to a house. It's a non-stressful interaction, a positive interaction. That's very important.
Unity Day is meeting its goal of building positive energy in the community.
Some of these people that you see around here, we see and work with every single day, so we just decided to provide them with a chance to go somewhere where they can experience a bunch of positivity.
That's the whole purpose of this. This is to have the police here so the young people can interact with the police in a positive way and know that they don't have to be afraid of them, that they are here for them.
We're all people. Everybody's equal. Nobody's better than anyone else. Makes me happy to see everybody here like this.
Everybody here is wonderful, and it takes either a tragic event or an event like this to bring the good people out. Unfortunately, we don't see them near enough.
It's just a great day. It's just nice to see the people come out and the police, and maybe they'll be more familiar with you when they run into you in the street, and we can get along better, and we'll have an understanding, they have an understanding. We're all for the same goal.
Absolutely.
The third annual Unity Day was held Friday, August 3rd on the Hyannis Village Green. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
Well, thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Cape Media News. Stay up to date with us online at capemedia.org. And of course, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Coleman.